Okay. So I believe every one of you know who is PSY, the middle-aged guy singing Gangnam Style, dancing some weird moves. So he was the one that I started to pay attention about Korean culture because I saw him perform on the stage of Times Square during New Year's celebration. And after I saw that, I started to realize that Korean culture has really started to storm into the world. Let's think about things around you. You might have friends who are using Samsungs. You might have friends who are driving Hyundais. Or maybe the cosmetic products that you are using are actually from Korea. We just don't know it because they came into our life without us noticing. So today, I'm going to talk about how Korean culture influenced the world in many different aspects. Korean culture has been so successfully influenced the world, and when everyone is noticing about their culture, their soft power is increasing too. So the countries that really want to increase their soft power, increase their culture, they should really pay attention to what Korea do and try to learn from them. Even though Korean culture might be marginalized one day, countries like China, they should still try to imitate the way that they promote their culture and absorb the best part and increase their soft power. Today, I'm going to focus on two main points. The first one, which is the marketing and branding skills of Korea, and the second one, which is copying the strategy that Korea used into China entertainment business, can actually help them to improve their business, their culture, and eventually increase their soft power. So the marketing and branding skills of Korea. Korea is successful because they not only know how to build up their content of their culture, but they also know how to promote their culture. According to KOCCA, which is Korea Creative Content Agency, they said that the music industry of Korea actually hit about 3.4 billion in 2013. And according to a report from YouTube, the video clips of Korea actually revealed 2.3 billion in 235 countries. So from the statistic, we can know that the influence of Korean culture has really spread into different parts of the world. One of my personal experience, when I came to America, my friend from Brazil, from Mexico, from America, they actually asked me, do I know some drama from Korea? They actually watch more than I watch. So we can see the influence of this, they really it's not only in Asia, but also in Western country, Latin America, and maybe Middle East. And also, so Korean culture is the iconic representation now. People pay attention to their pop culture, and then they start to promote the history of their country. They start to promote their foods, their tourism industry, and eventually they bring more and more attention to the people around the world, so their economy is growing, their GDP is growing, and then their soft power is growing too. Second, copying the strategy to China entertainment business can actually help them to improve their business, their culture, and then their soft power. So let's do a brief comparison between Korea and Chinese. Korea, they use their pop culture as their representation to arouse the attention of people around the world. But for China, they always talking about their traditional culture, like they have a long history about their country, their mountains, their hills, their people, their buildings. So let's say if China really do what Korea do, like they try to put their Chinese pop culture into their representation, arouse the attention from more people, like maybe the younger generation, the teenager, then they start to after they arouse the attention of them, then they start to promote their country, their food, their tourism, everything. Then of course they can achieve the same result as Korea. They can increase their business, they can increase their culture, and eventually their GDP is growing, their economy is growing, and then their soft power is growing too. So basically what I talk about today is surrounded by 2 points. The first one is the marketing and branding skills of Korea. And the second one, which is copying the strategy to China entertainment business, can help them to improve their business, their culture, and their soft power. So to be honest, I still think Korea culture is going to influence the world in many different aspects, and with the help of social media, it might spread even quickly. So those countries that really want to improve their culture, their soft power, they should really pay attention to what Korea is doing now and try to learn from them. Even though Korean culture might be marginalized one day, it's not a bad thing to learn from them, try to absorb the best part, and then increase your own soft power. There's one thing that I'm sure about is this year I'm still going to watch the New Year celebration of Times Square. And if I saw someone that I don't know performing on the stage again, I won't be surprised anymore. Thank you.